and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures.
We want to ensure that all of our kids have healthy meals every day.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping feed our kids.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score!
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Jen Young on the right wing. Carolina down 4 to Hyde. Lobs it to Faisar, who catches and reverses it home for the Thunderous 2. Shot clock down to 8. Luka looks like he wants to go. Hesitation, drive, layup, good! Khalifa turns it over. Trimble's going to have a wide open tomahawk finish. Timeout, Louisville. Tar Heels up 16.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Hi, everyone. Might be a little too much energy for a Tuesday. Football as well. We are live on YouTube. Go to the, I guess, the most popular website in the interwebs, on the interwebs. Search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan. You will get to us either way. I am Adam Gold. Victoria is here. That was the one and only Jones Angel on one of several Seth Trimble highlights from last night. So all is good. Bright and sunny day here in central North Carolina.
Don't let it deceive you, because it's still chilly, but it's pretty.
It is cold. That's fine. I got no problem with it being cold when the sun's out.
Yeah.
I'm good. You can be colder when the sun's out.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I don't mind if it's 30 degrees and sunny.
Just
I'm cool.
The up and down of it all.
No, whatever.
it's that time of year, people, where Mother Nature is real confused.
It's that time of the year here, everywhere. Or all year long. North Carolina weather, other than the summer, where we know what it's going to be.
Hot.
Yeah. Other than for 2 months. Or is it really July, August? We know it's going to be stupid hot. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I mean, we could be all over the place. So
happens.
Yeah, I remember when the first year of TST, the soccer tournament, which is coming.
Was that when the seats melted you?
Yeah, but the weird thing is that was the third day.
Oh.
And fourth, I think it was the fourth day. And the first 3 days was unseasonably cool.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where, for some of the night matches, we were cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then, yeah, holy mackerel, you can't sit.
Yeah.
Because it's not the metal, it was the plastic seats that did us in that year at TST. So you have no idea what you can expect. So if the sun is out, I'm good with it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good with it.
I'll take it.
What was I going? I want to give my friend a plug. We are coming up at the end of Black History Month. So Tom Shanahan has been on this show many, many, many times. He is a sports writer, author, and wrote the book with Jimmy Ray, Ray of Light, about Jimmy Ray is a Fayetteville guy and the integration of college football. And he's got multiple books out, and the state of North Carolina has featured prominently in helping integrate college football as a sport. And he is going to, it's a free event at the Apex Library. I realize you can hear us in Asheville and Wilmington, all over the state. But so if you are listening locally, the Apex Library, which is coming up on Thursday, starting at 3:30. It's only an hour long. It's free, and Tom will be there, and there'll be a whole bunch of festivities So if you are interested in the subject matter, by all means, I am interested in things that Tom has to write and say. So it should be a good time. If you would like to just kind of expand your brain just a little bit. All right, we got a lot of things to do. We had big news last night that we will hit first.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
A lot of times I've got my phone on silent, no vibrate, all of that, which reminds me that when I misplace my phone, I always wish that I don't have my phone
Right.
on silent. So, well, somebody called my phone, it's ringing, but it can't hear
Yeah,
it
no.
because it's on silent.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just hope it's dark and it's glowing. At least does that.
So I'm watching the Tar Heels and Louisville last night, and all of a sudden, Twitter starts to vibrate because Gunnar Rivers, son of, yes, Phillip Rivers, committed to the Wolfpack last night. I believe it was last night. That's when Twitter informed me of it. 11th ranked quarterback in the 2027 class, 4 stars, 6'3", 200, chose state over, among other schools, Auburn and Miami, according to what I've been able to hear and read. And not a surprise, I guess, that he chose NC State, but there's no guarantee. It might not have been a surprise to some of you that Cameron and Caden Boozer chose Duke, but other schools were in the mix. Initially, Carolina was in the mix. Miami was very much in the mix. They grew up in South Florida. So it's not a foregone conclusion. It should have never been that Rivers would have come to NC State. But that's where they announced, and I know everybody is excited. I have no idea if he's going to be half as good as his dad. His dad was awesome. State fans will remember that. But very cool, great for the program. It's like it's not quite on the Manning level when Arch Manning went to Texas, but it's like our version of Arch Manning, although none of the Mannings went to Texas before Arch did. You know, Uncle Peyton went to Tennessee. Uncle Eli went to Ole Miss, as did Grandpa Archie go to Ole Miss. So Texas was a departure. Gunnar Rivers could have gone anywhere, but chose NC State. So I think that is very, very cool. We're going to talk about that with Michael Clark from Pack Power coming up in just a little bit.
Got it right.
Yeah.
It's hard. Pack Pride still wants to just roll off.
We'll ask Michael if he has trouble remembering.
Corey Smith said he had just made that oopsie.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I wonder if Michael is still making the oopsies.
And for that reason, I didn't call Corey.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me move on to a couple of other quick things. The National Hockey League returns tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? Here, we start Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
The NHL has 8 games on the slate tomorrow. I wonder how many of Team USA players will be available. Now, theoretically, they should all be available, those that are healthy. But if you got a chance to see the Hughes brothers on Good Morning America, or you saw everybody coming off the plane yesterday, and then saw, if you're online at all, you probably saw a fair number of celebratory videos last night. Karaoke and champagne being pounded, and that is all good. All of it. I am not criticizing a single second of it. But they're not done with their social calendar as it pertains to being members of USA Hockey. So, with that said, it's good that Carolina doesn't play until Thursday.
Gives it an extra buffer day.
Because the Devils, the Lightning, they play tomorrow. So, we will see. Canes come back Thursday. They host the Lightning. They're off Friday. Saturday, they will host Detroit. They come back seemingly, we don't know for a fact until we see them, all healthy. Jarvis didn't play as much as I know he would have liked. Aho played a ton. They're back. They'll practice tomorrow, by the way. Could not possibly have more respect for those two guys. Jarvis played in the gold medal game on Sunday. Aho played in the bronze medal game Saturday. They just got back, and I think they got back yesterday. Good for both of them. I'm sure that they are ready to hit the ice skating. Hockey. But not everybody is healthy. We know about Kevin Fiala. We know about Sidney Crosby, right? We don't know what the status is of Crosby, and Pittsburgh desperately needs him. We know Mikko Rantanen is going to miss time for the Dallas Stars. He did not play in the bronze medal game. He sat that one out due to injury. So it is what it is. This was always going to be the the risk, and I said this before the Olympics or during the Olympics, injuries were probably more likely to happen in the NHL than they were in the Olympics, but because we did have a few, it seems that everybody is kind of like not feeling great about that whole thing. So when we see Jacob Slavin play, whenever that is, we hope everything is good with him. By the way, Nick Ehlers is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. We will talk to the star of Team Denmark. Frederick Anderson also played for the Danes. I thought he was good, but I thought Nick Ehlers was the best player for Denmark. We'll talk to him about that. I know he's at the basketball game last night as well. We're going to talk about the Tar Heels win over Louisville. I know we heard the highlight there. Real quick, it's a good thing Seth Trimble had a big-time game because I'm not sure Carolina was great up and down the lineup. So real quick about the Hurricanes. The machine gun schedule we had back in the pre-Olympic schedule, it's back. Thursday, Saturday, Tampa, Detroit. Then on the road, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. 4 games next week. All West Coast, West Canada. Western, I think Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. I think those are the 4, maybe not necessarily in that order. So they're going to be gone for a while. 15 games in March. That's right. 15 games in March, 8 in the first 14 days of April. Actually, 8 in a 12-day span. Starting with the 2nd, ending on the 14th. I guess that's 13 days, really. 8 in 13 days. Crazy. That's the schedule that we've got, and that's the end of the season. There's 25 games left, I believe, in 49 days. Crazy end of the schedule. All right, Michael Clark, Pack Power. Last time we talked, it's been a minute since we've talked to you. Talked to Corey Smith last week, and he said he was still struggling with the name change. Are you?
Corey's a lot smarter than I, so I definitely am still struggling with the name change. But like I said, just doing the best I can each day.
I mean, you're giving Corey a ton of credit for being smarter than you. I don't know, man. I think you guys are probably tied. Let's explore Gunner Rivers. First of all, surprise probably isn't the right word. How tight was it with the likes of an Auburn or a Miami or other schools?
I mentioned back in December, and full disclosure, when they offered Gunner back when he was a freshman, I just thought it was a huge long shot because of the current state we're in college football, and money is not a factor for him, obviously. But I always say it isn't till it is.
Right.
So that being said, December you really heard some rumblings. I think him coming to the UNC game, seeing that kind of demolition of a rival, being with your dad, then you have one of your best friends, from what I've gathered, the running back commit, sign with NC State. And, it just kept going. You kept hearing more and more from people I trust. And, you've been doing this a long time. There are people that you trust and that have never steered you in the wrong direction. Does that mean that they're always right? No. But it really started to pick up some steam in January. I talked about it again and then mentioned it again last week. But I'm going to be completely honest. I think everybody, including the coaching staff, I don't think anybody was expecting it to happen yesterday. I do think NC State was sprinting. I think it's obviously a huge deal. This kid's a player. I mean, he's really, really talented. So it is. It's a big day for NC State.
All right, now there are people out there, and I kind of drew an allusion, like an example of the Boozer twins going to Duke. It was a foregone conclusion in the mind of people who don't follow it that, why wouldn't they go to Duke? His dad was a star at Duke. They should go to Duke. But there were other serious players in, and also when you deal with these types of situations, you're not 100% sure how good are the players. So you say he's really talented. Give me an example. I mean, we remember what Phillip was as a freshman. I sort of joked, if he can be half as good as his dad, that would be awesome for NC State. What are the strengths of Gunnar Rivers' game?
I think first it's just experience. I mean, this is a kid who's a 3-year varsity starter. Took his lumps. They went 6-5, and when he was a freshman, and he's just continued to get better and better. I mean, he's so far advanced when it comes to just his feel for the game. And if you watch him on tape, video, however you want to word it, I mean, the ability to throw with anticipation and touch. And a thing that gets lost in this quarterback evaluation, I think, often is the ability to process quickly. Yeah. You don't play at the level he's performed without being able to do that. That's so important. I mean, rarely are you going to go out on a Saturday or Sunday or whenever and throw a ball 65 yards in the air. That's not how football works. I think him being able to have the experience and then the sounding board, I mean, I don't know if you could ask for a better one. I mean, the coaching he's received from his dad, not only in high school, but just growing up and being around the game, there are no sure things in college football recruiting, definitely not at the quarterback position. But it would be hard for me. Am I saying he's going to be his dad? Absolutely not. It would be hard for me to not see him being really successful at NC State. I just think he's got all the tools. I mean, again, you can't teach certain things. You can't teach experience and then his ability to obviously process decision making, the whole nine. Does he have the biggest arm? Yeah, probably not. But again, he is extremely gifted.
Michael Clark from Pack Power, part of the 247 network. You can follow him on Twitter at Michael Clark 247. I don't know if you saw it. I watched it. There was a video out there of John Gruden meeting Gunnar, and Gruden's doing this like the typical Gruden things. Give me a cadence, give me run me through a play call, like give me a route combinations. Like Gruden is. I mean, those things are comedy to me. Can we? I don't know if you've seen it or not, but can we learn things about him mentally from videos like that?
I think, I've obviously seen it, and Gruden's obviously a football guy down to the T, for sure. So I think just the ability not to be overwhelmed, didn't seem nervous, answers weren't very lengthy but decisive. And I don't know, the easiest way I can say, you can tell the kid just gets it.
Yeah.
I mean, he understands who he is. He's not, trying to replicate his dad. I think he's going to be, his own person. And I said this is one of the biggest football commitments in program history, and I really mean that. And there's, a bunch of reasons. First, like I said, he's extremely talented, but just the current state of college football, Adam, where we are, who knows where we're going. But I think everybody would agree that realignment is coming again. NC State, to position itself, must win big in basketball. You've seen the investment there.
Right.
Now, is this a springboard to get people excited and invest in football? Because they have to win in both sports to make themselves more marketable. I mean, it is going to be hyper competitive when that time comes. We all know it's coming. Can this galvanize a fan base? You're going to need every number I'm hearing right now, a competitive roster to really compete in college football, 25 to 30 million next year. I mean, you're going to have schools spending 40 to 50. I mean, you've got to find a way to get to that competitive level, and $30 million has to be a baseline. I mean, it just is. I mean, at some point, it's players, not plays.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we saw that this past year. You look at games NC State really struggled, and they were just completely overwhelmed at the line of scrimmage. Well, if you've got a quarterback like Gunnar Rivers, or even a high-quality one like C.J. Bailey, whose profile is one of the best ones in the country this year, you've got to protect him, and you've got to also surround him with weapons. I think last thing what I'd say is the schools I heard, the most, obviously Miami, I heard that name. Texas, Kentucky were the ones, again, that I heard the most behind the scenes. But I'd address, I've asked a couple personnel guys, not at NC State, but around the country, and their similar response was he could have gone anywhere.
Right.
And to me, that's good enough for me, regardless of what I think or what anybody else is. I trust those guys, and they're pretty spot on in their evaluations.
Michael Clark from Pac Power is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. You bring up two things that I've thought about. It's not even the long-term future of what college football looks like, because 2030, really, when we all believe the sea change is coming, that's when the ACC essentially is letting Clemson, Florida State, and others to go, and do what they want to do. Any announcements would likely come maybe a year or two before then. That's basically what we see as the expiration date of the current system. So there's that. I also think that you bring up you need $25, $30 million to put a competitive football team on the field. And, I mean, fundamentally, I don't know how you feel about it, but fundamentally, I think it's kind of sucks to keep asking your fans to keep floating the program at some point. I know that it's a lot of corporations, a lot of big money people, but man, fans are already buying tickets and, joining the Wolfpack Club. There's a lot to ask for them.
No, it is. And I mean, college football, the off season and what you're asking in NIL, I think we've all would agree has been a complete disaster. So far, you all see, everybody sees the good stories, like this kid signing for this amount, blah, blah, blah. But there's so many bad stories.
Oh, yeah.
Like kids making decisions solely based on, financial. And, a lot of these kids, Adam, it's not life-changing money. I don't think people get that misconstrued. I think that there are kids making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But those are few and far between. I mean, high school kids typically are not going to break the bank. And I think for Gunnar, you look at his situation, and he's going somewhere where he can get on the field and compete, I think, right away. And I think that's been a thing over the years, been doing this as long as I have. It's never made sense to me why the best quarterbacks in the country go to the same schools year after year. I mean, only one of them can play, but it's a guarantee every season. And I know every kid believes in themselves, but you can't reach your ultimate goal if you can't get on the field. So again, I just think this is a perfect type storm. You hope for NC State, and you have to be able to capitalize. And does it suck? Absolutely, it's not great. We all know the system's not great, but it's like I've said multiple times, it's not going anywhere. So you have to accept it. It is what it is, and then you have to realize as a fan base or whatever that this is what it takes. And like I said, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what the fans think. I mean, the college football has taken this thing and run with it, stumbled with it, however you want to word. And until it gets cleaned up, we just have what we have. So to get off my lawn and all those conversations, I mean, like those are irrelevant. I don't know how to say it anymore. I mean, covering it every day, it doesn't matter. Like It's what it is. Accept it, or you're going to be mediocre or bad. That's it.
Michael Clark, before I let you go, because you mentioned you need guys in the trenches, you need skilled position players. So, real quick, give me an idea what we can expect from the upcoming recruiting class. And Gunnar's is 27. He's not going to be on campus in the fall. So, how is State positioned recruiting wise going into this upcoming year and the one after?
I think they're in a good spot. I do believe that this will have a sizable impact, but I think it's important to point out to people that this is not like, let's go play with my friend or a guy we think really good. I mean, the first thing kids are going to ask for, high-profile guys, how much you're willing to pay me.
Right.
So if you're looking for that type of impact 10, 15 years ago, I don't think you get that without the finances. I think, again, they're positioned themselves well. Now, do you restructure your whole recruiting board? I think that is something you take into effect and you swing for the fence, at least now until summer. I mean, you don't have anything to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Apples to apples, a receiver could do well by playing for a quarterback like Gunnar Rivers. He's going to put you in position to be successful. And again, with his background, you covered Phillip Rivers. I mean, it's just as hard for me to envision him being like this massive bust, especially with what we've seen already at the high school level and just his upward trajectory.
Look, I remember Phillip Rivers for 4 years, and I kept saying this: quarterbacks played with the head more than it is any other body part. And if Gunnar can process the game like his dad, then he's going to be a good quarterback right from the jump. Michael Clark, Pack Power, at Michael Clark 247. I appreciate your time, man. Be well. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And like I said before I go, I just wanted to the staff, the coaching staff and the recruiting staff, they deserve a ton of credit here. This still wasn't easy, like you talked about. You still had to do a lot of legwork and making a big-time guy feel comfortable, and they did. So they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, and they generally have done a good job in recruiting. But, yes, it's never a foregone conclusion, and in some ways it might even be more difficult to recruit a legacy type of a player. Michael, I appreciate your time, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon, man. Thank you.
You got it. All right, real quick, Nick Ehlers is going to join us when we come back. He was at the Tar Heel basketball game last night. Get his take. I'll see if that was the first college game he had taken in. Maybe he had been to a football game. I don't know. It's not common in Denmark, I guess, to go to college, sporting events. But we'll talk to him about that. We'll talk to him about the Olympics and more with Nick Ehlers next.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
As the Olympics get underway, the best news for the Carolina Hurricanes is the absolutely awesome contract that they have for Seth Jarvis. He's now a part of Team Canada, and sometimes at these events, guys leave as hockey players and they come back as superstars. And you hope that happens for Seth Jarvis because you have him under team control for years in the future.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's Ram Truck Month right now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Drive home a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 for 20% off. Or pick your financing deal. 0% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months. America's best-selling truck comes with a terrific powertrain limited warranty. 10 years or 100,000 miles. Excludes RHO and tungsten. See dealer for details. So get off your Keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. It looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm news correspondent Bob Woodruff. In 2006, a roadside bomb struck the armored vehicle I was riding in while reporting from Iraq. I sustained a life-threatening traumatic brain injury. The military term, "got your six," means I have your back. And that day, our service members had mine. During my recovery, I learned firsthand the challenges facing our service members who return home with injuries. While serving, their fellow service members always had their six. Now that they're home, it is our turn. We started the Bob Woodruff Foundation to make sure that the camaraderie and support they relied on in the military carries on, and we need you. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative and help us be there for impacted veteran service members and their families. They've had our backs. It's time we have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org. That's gotyoursix.org. Using the number 6.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You can swirl it, you can sip it, but the best way is to share it. Hey y'all, I'm Deanna, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You get that bold flavor of the Coke mixed with the smooth deliciousness of the vanilla ice cream. You have a juicy filet and a smooth, creamy float. It's an awesome pairing.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
I have his jersey.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you have any other jerseys or just a Jake Delhomme?
I got so many.
Do you really?
I go all the way back from Tim Biakabatuka.
Wow.
Yes. Cam, Luke, obviously, Smitty. So, yeah, I've got multiple. 6 or 7, maybe?
6, 7?
6, 7? 6, 7?
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Once again, you are welcome to join us on YouTube, and that's the best way, really, to take part in the one-timer segment where you can ask any question you like. Go to YouTube, search Adam Gold Show or 99.9 The Fan, and you can just put your question right there in the chat. I would say that 70% of our questions are Hurricanes related. You are free to ask me about that or anything you want. It does not matter. In fact, we have a brand new team in the Coastal Plains League called the Devil Dogs of Zebulon, or the Zebulon Devil Dogs, and it did bring to mind the greatest snack cake in, I think, recorded world history, the Devil Dog. There is nothing that even comes close to it. I was thinking about a top 4 snack cake list, and I'm not sure I wouldn't put Devil Dogs on it 4 times. All right. Nikolaj Ehlers, the pride of Denmark, best player, in my opinion, for the Danes during the Olympics. He joins us now on the Adam Gold Show. First of all, welcome back from Italy. Did you have a good time? I know the hockey didn't work out the way you guys had liked, but did you enjoy the experience?
Thank you. Yes, I definitely did. It was obviously a dream come true to be able to represent Denmark at the biggest tournament. So it was a pretty cool experience all around.
So many people have asked me, like, because the NHL shuts down. I mean, no business wants to shut down for 3 weeks, especially right after the Super Bowl. But I remind people that this was the number one issue that the players fought for. You guys desperately wanted this to be the case, to play Olympic hockey. So why does it mean so much to you and your fellow players?
As much as possible, and I've done it at 5 world championships, and that's been unbelievable. But I think just like the Olympics is the biggest tournament there is in international hockey, and you're so proud whenever you can wear your country's colors.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for me personally, I wanted to play a tournament for Denmark on the biggest stage against the best players. And, you don't get to do that very often. So it's, for me, it's a no-brainer to have NHL players at tournaments like that.
Yeah, and the real sticking point is really the calendar and the fact that, the Olympics happens during when the Winter Games happens during your season. It might be a little bit different if hockey were a summer Olympic event like basketball is a summer Olympic event. But I'm sure you guys grow up watching World Cup soccer, and Denmark has been very good, especially over the last several runs. Been certainly a team that could. Nobody wanted to face you guys, whether it's at the World Cup or the Euros. So in some ways, during the time where you guys were not allowed to be part of it, was there a little bit of, man, I wish we could, as you're watching World Cups?
I
might have confused you there.
Yeah, as I'm watching World Cups.
Yeah, World Cup soccer, because those guys get to play in it.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think any of the guys that were at the Olympics care that it's in the middle of the season. We still have the bye week usually every year.
Right.
This was just a little longer. So for me, that doesn't change a single thing. So, yeah, I absolutely wish we would have been able to go in the past. I feel bad for the guys that weren't allowed to go, last time and the time before that. So yeah, to me, that's not even an issue. And it shouldn't be.
I know you guys went to the basketball game last night, and I saw Andrei Svechnikov and Alexander Nikishin there. I mean, had Russia been allowed to play in these games, they would have both been at the Olympics. Were they a little jealous of you guys?
I don't know. I'm sure in some way they were. They obviously want to play the Olympics as well. I couldn't imagine anything else, and they want to represent their country at the Olympics and tournaments. So I'm sure they have been a little disappointed.
Yeah. Are you glad you didn't have to play against Andre?
Yeah, I am. And Nicky, probably more Nicky, because then I'd have to worry about him blowing me up out on the ice. So, yeah.
Nikolaj Ehlers is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. I know you guys were kind of separated from a lot of the other events. Did you get a chance to see anything other than the hockey rink? Did you get a chance to see another event while you were there?
I didn't go see any other events. The only ones that were there were speed skating and figure skating, which was also not super close to the village. Mm-hmm. So that was unfortunate. That was, that was part of getting the full experience, was to, go see other sports and other events and all of that. So it's kind of too bad that it's, so separated. Because that's part of the experience of going to the Olympics, is actually to be able to go see the other sports. So, that would have been the one thing I would have liked to have changed.
Is there another Olympic event other than hockey that you think at some point in your life you could have participated in?
No, not as a top athlete. I wouldn't have qualified for any of those. I was thinking maybe the speed skating, if I really got into it. And you gave me 8 years to practice in. But I met the Danish guy who won a silver medal at speed skating. We met him. He was on the same floor as us in the village. And we were talking about, his workout program and how he trains for it. And it is pretty incredible what they do as well. So I don't think so. It's probably the same for all those other athletes. If you ask them, everyone is so focused on their own sport. I've played hockey since I was 3.
Right.
These guys have done the same thing in their sport. So, it's pretty incredible to see the we watched on TV, so it's pretty incredible to see all their hard work and how good they are at what they do. So that was pretty cool.
All right, real quick about this, because we have new events all the time. What if they instituted a speed skating event that was simply mirroring zone entries on a power play?
Yeah, I think I could probably get up there.
I think you'd be on the podium.
Yeah, I definitely do my best there.
All right. First of all, I don't want to. I want to ask you a little bit about the guys when you got back. But real quick, how anxious were you when you finally did get back to the U.S. to get back in the swing of practice? And I know you're still skating with Jordan Staal and Jordan Martinook. But so how excited were you to get back to everybody?
Well, obviously very excited to get back and get the season going again. It's been a great year for us so far, so we want to continue that, even though it's been a little break, and start off right. But yeah, it's been exciting to get back, and I'm here with my dog. I don't know if you can hear his dog toy. Yeah, he's going nuts.
It's fine.
So yeah.
Look, I'm all about dogs. You don't have to convince me. We could talk. You and I could just talk dogs if you wanted to. What kind of dog is it?
I got a mini Cavapoo. So he's a very small dog, but he's got, as you can hear, way too much energy.
No, there's no such thing when it comes to a dog. And the smaller the dog, the bigger it feels that it is. So that's exactly what we're dealing with. Speaking of too much energy, my guess is Jordan Martinook is ready to go. What do you like the most about playing with Staal and Martinook?
Oh, the way they play the game. They work really hard. They play the game the right way. I think for me personally, getting into that line, I think we've slowed down. We slowed down towards the break, which was something that we obviously talked about. But I think I like the way that we kind of complemented each other, and they created a lot of room for me to the puck. So that's something that we're gonna try to continue to improve on.
It does seem like whenever you guys are on the ice, Staal and Martinook always seem to have the puck. And that means you have the puck. It can't be a terrible thing. Final thing about the Olympics, and then I'll let you go. Did you watch the semis and the finals?
Yeah, I did.
What did you? First of all, I thought Sebastian Aho was dynamite in the two matches. The semifinal, I mean, you could argue they probably should have beaten Canada. And then in the bronze medal game, I thought Seabass was dynamite. What did you think overall of what we saw?
Well, again, best on best hockey. That's what people want to see. That's what I want to see. And play in, of course. So we saw some pretty exciting hockey, some tight games as well, which always makes it more fun to watch, I think. And the gold medal game was exactly how we were hoping it was going to be, with how tight it was and exciting. So I thought the Olympics was a lot of fun to watch.
It was a blast. What's your dog's name, by the way?
Jax.
Jax. All right. Well, that's awesome. Tell Jax we said what's up, and I'll see you, I guess, Thursday when we all crank it back up again against the Lightning. I appreciate your time.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for having me.
You got it. Nikolaj Ehlers here on the Adam Gold Show.
The cutest.
And Jax.
Oh my gosh, I had to look up what a Cavapoo is.
I have no idea what it is. I watch the dog show every year. I didn't recognize the name, but he said small dog, so I can handle that.
I couldn't handle the little puppy noises in the background. It's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel mixed with a miniature poodle, and they're adorable.
Of course they are. They're dogs.
Well, all of them are adorable.
Except like when like the toy poodle. Just don't. The dog can't like that.
I wouldn't do that to a dog.
No, the dog can't like that.
No.
Real quick, serious note. Our friend Travis from WFNZ in Charlotte. Gosh, I hope I don't get emotional here because I broke up when I spoke to them this morning because Travis wasn't on the show.
Yeah.
Mabel, his dog, is going to a dog park in the sky. And for anybody that's had to go through that, man, I feel you because we've all lost a dog at some point. So always think about this. I don't have any sage advice, but you always want what's best for the dog. Always. So shouts to you, Mabel. We'll pour one out. And to Travis, thinking about you. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We got one-timers on the other side, questions and answers. You can ask any question. I can give you any answer. Might not even be to the question. We'll see. Next.
Asheville to Wilmington, Boone to Durham, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Seniors, know your rights when looking for new housing. Licensed adult care homes come with rights to quality care, oversight, and a long-term care ombudsman to advocate for you. In registered multi-unit assisted housing, services are arranged separately, and you could have fewer care-related rights. For more information, contact your regional ombudsman today, because knowing your rights means protecting your future. Go to ncdhhs.gov/contactnc for more information. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. How would you like to go to the NBA Finals? Well, FanDuel can help. And FanDuel is providing you with a lot here. Check this out. All you have to do, use your profit boost on an NBA future bet like San Antonio versus Detroit in the NBA Finals. And all you got to do is that. You don't even have to be right. And FanDuel will enter you for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. Take your best buddy or take your worst enemy and leave him in that city. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. No purchase necessary. Limit one entry. For Profit Boost tokens, opt-in required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry, at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
You know the only feeling sweeter than opening a college acceptance letter? Knowing that you'll be able to pay for tuition however far you go. The first step? Completing the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA for short. Find out how much money for college you qualify for. Grants, scholarships, and other opportunities are waiting. How far can you go? Find out at cfnc.org/FAFSA 101.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol program is here to protect you from fraud and provide you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Practicing a championship way can happen 100% of every day, on the court and when traveling highways. A law of sportsmanship includes taking the high road when going away and returning home. Buckle up your seatbelt in the front and back seats, every seat, every time. Each time you click it, it counts as a winning ticket. Demonstrate your championship drive through your safety practice. A buckled seat is a winning bucket. This message was brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it, and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
This is Adam Gold.
80-second mark, I scream in the booth. I screamed in the booth. Why the heck is he still on the ice?
Did you say it in Finnish?
I should have.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't. He curses in English.
He does.
All right, 2 seconds later, he scored.
Yes.
And I went, oh, that's why. That's why.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria producing the program. Next hour, little NFL talk with Will Brinson. Got a lot of things going on. Here, Nick Sirianni is like, yeah, we've talked to A.J. Brown about, like long-term here. And but I don't even know if he's going to be here this year. Well, which one is it? Kirk Cousins is going to be free to go on March 11th. We don't know what's up with Tua Tagovailoa. Geno Smith with the Raiders. Lamar Jackson entering into contract extension, really more restructuring, with the Baltimore Ravens. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be back with Pittsburgh? Lots of stuff to talk about with Will Brinson. We'll do that in about 30 minutes. Right now, it's time for one-timers.
Okay, so kicking it off today on our Tuesday, or Tuesday, I don't know. Let me use that one. On my Twitter, we've got from Mitch, how would you feel about a standing ovation at Lenovo for visiting American Olympic team members during the next few appearances in Raleigh, especially when Winnipeg returns with Hullabuck?
Well, we're done with Winnipeg, aren't we? We played Winnipeg twice. So I don't think we're going to see Winnipeg this year. I don't think we'll see anything next year. But I would have no problem with congratulating. I mean, we're not going to show a video.
No.
We've already seen Minnesota here. I think the Devils are done here, so we're not going to see Jack Hughes. Are we done with the Rangers? No, I think we have one more game with the Rangers here. So, yeah, we might say a hello and a thank you to Trocheck and Miller.
Right.
But, I kind of think that we'll probably move on from that pretty quickly.
People have short memories.
Yes.
This one from Comebread. More trade talk. Thoughts, targets. Who would you be willing to trade, etc.? The usual that you'll probably be asked every day until the trade deadline.
Say that one more time. I'm getting messages about stuff. One more time. I should be able to hear that. Oh, we're doing that again?
Cornbread. I'm repeating.
Okay. It's fine.
More trade talk. Thoughts, targets. Who would you be willing to trade, etc.?
We always do that. How do we? I don't know who we're after to formulate what I would be willing to give up. Everybody is so anxious to add. I think if the Hurricanes can improve the roster without touching the NHL roster, they will. I think that is the most likely scenario. Is it possible they go big game hunting? Yeah. Look, go try to get Austin Matthews. Go get him. So what would it cost to get Austin Matthews? I don't know that he's available, to be honest.
Except we need someone for the playoffs.
Go get Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
What would you be willing to give up for Connor McDavid? I'm only half kidding. So it all depends on who you're targeting. That determines who you are willing to give up. These are really, really difficult questions to ask. I don't want to belittle the question, but I don't know how to answer it because I don't know who the target is.
This one from Dom. Any thoughts on Lane rumors?
Lion A.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, okay, I saw that. Patrick Lion A. I was like, Lane rumors.
It looks like Lane
Kiffin?
to me.
Right, yeah, it's pronounced Lane. Yeah, that's silly. So here's the thing. There are people out there who write for, I'm not going to say shady outfits because that's not fair. But there are companies out there that will pay anybody to write for them. They don't need credentials. They don't need, priors, if you will. They just, hey, are you willing to write? And yes. And they'll write and they'll publish it. And now, all of a sudden, it's in the public, mill. The last thing the Hurricanes need is a high-priced, largely unavailable designated hitter. Patrick Laine, when 100% healthy, I could see it. But he's not, and we haven't seen it for a while, so stop with the silliness. That ain't happening.
Yeah, silly talk. This one from Boris. You kind of specifically talked about this one, but he is addressing specifically Vincent Trocheck, fresh from the Olympics and on to the Canes roster? Question mark?
I think that Trocheck is well down Carolina's list. Not that it wouldn't be a good ad, but well down Carolina's list of interest. First of all, I don't believe the Rangers are giving him up, so I wouldn't anticipate it.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. Let me tell you up front, Gordon invented the no closing cost mortgage back in 1987. He brought it to the Triangle in 1996, and people here, like me, have been saving thousands of dollars when they buy a house or refinance their mortgages ever since. And here's why it is significant more than ever right now. In the last year, rates have dropped about 1.5 points. If you paid fees a year ago just to get the greatest mortgage ever, well, you can get a better rate today at Miller Lending, millerlending.com, and you don't have to pay closing costs on it. If you paid fees a year ago, you wasted that money. You'll never get it back. The rates were always going to drop. Gordon's been saying it forever. Miller Lending. Don't ever pay closing costs. Go to Miller Lending right now. Miller Lending on Kildare Farm Road in Cary, an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 250-2146.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
There's an overlap in the middle of a professional athlete's career where their body is still young enough to keep up with everything physical, yet their experience is enough that their mind feels like they've seen everything 3 times. After the Olympics, that's Sebastian Aho. He led Finland to the bronze medal. He's young enough. Now is the time for him to be and stay in his prime.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The shot, they score! Be part of the loudest house in the NHL. Win tickets to see the Carolina Hurricanes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins at Lenovo Center on Tuesday, March 10th by visiting hurricanes.com/radio and registering to win.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. And it's bow time.
There's bow time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Choose meetup locations and keep a contact list. Build a kit with food and water. Don't forget your pets. Keep extra medicine on hand. Make copies of key documents and keep them somewhere safe. Stay informed, learn about local hazards, and sign up for alerts. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Michigan sprinting across midcourt. 12 seconds to go. They trail by 5. Cadeau on the left. Up top, Burnett a 3. No, the rebound fought for. Into the arms of Dame Sarr. Now Caleb Foster ahead to Evans. And a dunk to say goodnight. 70-63. Duke gets it done. It's over in DC.
High energy, man.
I don't know how he has a voice. I feel like that's what I sounded like when I was watching the Olympics. The U.S. men and Canada play. But I had no voice really for that.
So I wasn't in the house for that. I was out. You couldn't act like a fool watching a game on your phone when you're supposed to be paying attention to other things.
True. It's probably good for your blood pressure, or at least wasn't for mine, because it took me all day to calm down.
Yeah, I think I watched it. I think I watched the gold medal game probably differently. I was rooting for the U.S. I'm not a doper. But I was really, more than anything, kind of just blown away by the quality of the play.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It's a great game.
Nick Ehlers talked about it. And thank him again for jumping on with us.
Him and Jax.
For a few minutes. And Jax, the dog. There's one thing you'll never have to apologize for on this show.
Yeah.
My dog.
Yes.
There are times where I am occasionally doing the show from my house. Earl and Harriet are on the show a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They show up. They sometimes show up during Stormwatch.
I'm telling you, I wish we could bring them in here. Although I'd probably get no work done, because if we had dogs in the building.
Well, Earl would just lay here and sleep.
Yeah, Biff would do the same thing, but he'd be cute and I'd want to pet him. So
Dad's talking again. There's nobody here. Dad's talking again. So, but you'll never have to apologize for a dog.
No.
But just getting back to the gold medal game, and I would say the same thing about the semifinals. I'm not going to lie. I was rooting for Finland.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't want to see USA Canada, but no joke, I was rooting for Finland.
Mm-hmm. And it almost happened.
I thought Sebastian was so good.
Yeah.
From the third period of the quarterfinal game on, I thought, and they trailed Switzerland 2-0. I thought Aho was one of the best players in the entire tournament. From that period on, he was so good. And I hope that he takes what he was doing in Milan and just runs with it here. The Hurricanes have a really good team. We sit here all day long and talk about, well, they need this, they need that, they need this. Yeah, they could get better. But as is, if they don't make a move, they are still one of the best teams in the East, and they still have a chance to get to and win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the reality. And if they don't make a move, I don't want fans to go, oh, well, that's it. Nah, man. Look at the standings. It doesn't lie to you. In fact, I would say if it does anything, Carolina probably could be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. For 40% of Carolina's games this year, I would say 40%, they have had, we'll just say it as diplomatically as possible, below league average goaltending for 40% of their games. And look at their record. They could be, I'm not saying significantly better, because Brandon Bussey, judging by the quality of his play, which has been very good, probably is outperforming by his record. Was 23-3-1?
Yeah.
In 27 starts? So he's probably not, you wouldn't look at the save percentage and goals against average and go, yep, that guy's 23-3-1. A little crazy. So, all in all, I think the Hurricanes could be maybe 5 points better. That's probably more than you think. But put 5 points on the board for them. What does that get you? Not to mention who those games might be against. What would 5 additional points get you for Carolina? You'd be the best team in the East. And I think they're right in that mix. Even if they don't do anything, I think they're right in the mix. So, can you improve your roster and improve your chances? Yeah, I think you can. At what expense? I don't know. So, it's going to be a blast. 25 games in 49 days starting Thursday. Mm-hmm. But the whole reason I got into this tangent was I watched the game on Sunday just basking in high-level hockey.
Big time.
And I was out in public, so I wasn't going to be a nut.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about that part.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be a nut. And when Jack Hughes scored, it was awesome. Oof. Absolutely awesome. Now, if I was a New Jersey Devils fan, I would wonder, where's that been?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where have you been, Jack?
And did you leave it in Italy?
Yeah. Well, he's ready.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So I'm glad we're done with the Devils. We will not have to deal with Jack Hughes the rest of the way. We won't have to deal with Quinn Hughes. The next time we see Quinn Hughes might be the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, if Minnesota can get there.
Once he dries out.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. I've been told they make Corona here, too.
Yes.
All right, second run at all of this. So I want to start with the basketball game last night. Now, it was a weird game. It was tight. It was a 1-point game at the half. Carolina came out of the locker room, put their foot on the accelerator, and raced away. The Seth Trimble dunk, and all of a sudden, I believe it was a 16-point game. I think it was 56-40. I mean, Carolina looked like they were blowing Louisville out. Then Louisville kind of made that, I think it was at one point, a 7-point game, and they had the ball. And then all of a sudden, Carolina was back out to a double-digit lead. And I thought, all right, it's cool. And then it was a 3-point game, and Louisville had the ball. They had 2 cracks at the rim, missed the first, couldn't corral the, I think got the offensive rebound, but couldn't convert that. And then they go the other way. Carolina ultimately wins the game. I thought Carolina was fine last night. Now, wait, Louisville's great, and Carolina was an underdog at home last night. My point is this. Seth Trimble needed an out-of-body experience, the best game he's ever played statistically. I don't think this would rank above what he did against Duke. But in terms of numbers, 30 points, and only 1 for 3 on threes, I see that as a positive because Trimble was playing the way he's supposed to play, which is more downhill, not perimeter-based. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. I thought, were it not for Seth Trimble, I don't think they win this game. Hubert Davis.
Seth was huge for us tonight on both ends of the floor. He had the responsibility of, guarding Brown, and what a responsibility that is. fantastic player. And but against their defense, they're long, they're athletic, very versatile. You have to find ways to be able to break down their defense and be able to consistently score, and Seth was our guy. Coming off ball screens, the thing that I loved about him was he was thinking attack. He wasn't coming off looking to pass. One of the things that I've told him is, when you come off of a ball screen, you're 100% thinking score, and then let the defense dictate whether you make a pass or you go to the basket. And Seth's ability to be able to get downhill, he was able to score, draw fouls, just a huge difference maker for us against a really good defensive team.
Also, and I don't discount this being a factor, and it's one of the things I like the most about the UNC program, is really how the players impact the next, we'll just call it next generation of UNC basketball player. They honored R.J. Davis last night, right? I think his name goes up in the rafters. And that's awesome. R.J. Davis, a great Tar Heel. And he meant a lot to Seth Trimble. So this was circulating last night. I just thought it was fascinating. I want to play it. At the end of their NCAA tournament run last year, Davis is done at UNC. And Davis and Seth Trimble were up on the podium. And here's Trimble explaining how R.J. Davis helped him as a player.
What have you learned in observing RJ and how to be a successful college basketball player at a major program?
I've learned so much from RJ. The second I stepped on campus, he was there. I asked him, hey, can we work out in the summer? I basically asked, hey, can I follow you? Hey, can I do everything that you do? And I'm fortunate enough for him to just accept me such an early time and just share with me all the knowledge that he's shared over the years. I've learned how to be a better leader. I've learned how to be a more confident basketball player. Yeah, I've learned a whole lot from RJ.
It's amazing, right? It really is. It's one of my favorite parts of the UNC basketball family, is just how big of an impact the soon-to-be former players have on the current players. It really is very, very cool. And again, this is not that it doesn't happen at Duke or State or anywhere else. I just think it's a little bit different at UNC, and I think you even saw that more at the Duke game. Kenny Smith was there. There were others there as well. But, man, it just matters. So these are big brothers to the Seth Trimbles of the world. All right. The USA hockey team was supposed to fly back to New York.
Yep.
On Sunday.
But snow.
Yeah. Hernando said, our airports are closed here. Yeah. All of them, and will be. So they rerouted and landed in Miami.
Yes.
Went to South Florida. Anyway, our old friend Casey Hintz used to work here at WRAL TV5. She now works for TV in Florida, and she talked with Jacob Slavin coming off the plane.
It's been unbelievable. Like you said, my family's here with me, so it's just an honor represent this country, win a gold medal. For myself and for my family, we give, first and foremost, we give the glory to God. That's what our family is about, and just thankful for the opportunity to glorify Him on a world stage. But as a team, it's just unbelievable accomplishment, and obviously it was 46 years since USA Hockey's won gold in men's hockey, and so it's just such a privilege, and the women's team, it just continues to dominate and do what they do. So awesome to see that for them too.
What do you even remember from that celebration? Anything at all on the ice?
I lost my voice a little bit, but no, just pure excitement. It was just such a fun moment.
And to represent the United States of America and the Carolina Hurricanes, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's an honor. It's an honor. Obviously, this country is such an amazing country, and there's a lot of amazing men and women who have served this country in the military, and so what they do is truly incredible and just inspires us to do what we do. And obviously we get represented through the game of hockey, but they represent it, sacrificing their life. So to be able to wear the same colors that they do is something that we take a lot of pride in.
Jacob Slavin, and we thank Casey Hintz for doing that. All right, one more thing. Big news of the day or yesterday, and it happened during the basketball games. Carolina was beating Louisville last night. We got the official word that Phillip Rivers' son, Gunner, quarterback, was committing to NC State. Here is Dad on son.
I think that's what you're most proud of as a dad is the teammate that he is and the type of young man that he's aspiring to be and turning into a grown man. I cannot, when I grab him, I go, man, it's not going to be long. He'll be able to put me in my place. But he really loves this team, loves being a part of this school and this program, and that's been really refreshing, because there's so much going on the outside, right, from recruiting to all this stuff. And he every time I say, hey, we need to go to a game, hey, we need to go to this, he's like, Dad, I'm good, we're good. I'm going to throw right here. I'm gonna do this right here. So obviously those things are coming down the line, but it's been fun to see. Obviously I'm the coach of the team, but as this dad, to see how the teammates respond to him and react to him, and that's a credit to him of how he's handling it. He didn't come in here like, oh, I'm the coach's son and I'll do this. He really has integrated as one of the guys, and I think that goes a long way.
It was cool to see some of those videos of how much he is just part of the team. But anyway, it's hard to tell that from afar. I will say this. In some ways, this is Arch Manning going to Texas, albeit neither Peyton nor Eli nor Grandpa Archie went to Texas, but everybody knows who Phillip Rivers is, who Phillip Rivers was as a quarterback. Heck, he just played at age something.
Right.
So
these genetics.
We all know the type of quarterback Rivers was. There is a ton of pressure on Gunner Rivers and it's not this year, it'll be the following year. Ton of pressure on Gunner Rivers to show up and be what his dad was as a freshman, and that's not going to be easy. Phillip hit the ground as, this guy's different. I wish Gunner luck with that. It is not going to be easy. But good for Dave Dorn and company to secure one of the top incoming quarterbacks of 2027. Great day for NC State. Will Brinson will join us. I actually saw him tweeting about this, the Gunner Rivers thing. Will Brinson will join us. We got the Combine at the end of the week. Free agency is beginning. We also have franchise tags being discussed. All of that with Will Brinson next.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen for the Get That Out of Here's.
Rejected! Cameron Boozer got a piece! Get that out of there!
The deep looks from downtown.
Arsenault pull up three, top of the arc. Buries it!
They got postered.
Shot is up, missed, hammer time! Put back, jam by Lubin!
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9. The Fan, driven by Fast Park and Relax, Chapel Hill Tire and Roof Works.
It's definitely chilly outside, but I know a good way to warm up. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here for Blue Shark Vodka, and maybe you're trying to think of a tasty cocktail to make for an upcoming party or just having some friends over to chillax a little bit. Blue Shark Vodka is here to help with the smoothest and cleanest vodka, which is also locally made. It's just an extra bonus that it comes in a collector's bottle that's sure to stir up some conversations. So try their Shark on a Beach, Shark Cider, or one of my personal favorites, the Carolina Mule. So go check them out at your local ABC store or visit their website for recipes and details at BlueSharkVodka.com.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. When the weather warms up, you're going to see a lot of motorcycles out there on the road, including myself. And if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Law Tigers understands what your bike and your gear are worth, and they understand what it's like to go through an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they don't get paid a dime until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Apply stop, opt out.
Hey man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them, see if you qualify. $750? Boom. And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text WORTH to 323232. That's WORTH to 323232. WORTH to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FineCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
East Carolina University is building up to something big on March 4th. It's Pirate Nation's 10th annual Day of Giving. For one day, pirates everywhere unite to support scholarships, research, healthcare, athletics, the arts, and more. Every gift supports a stronger future at ECU for our students and our state. Last year, we raised over $10 million. Now, let's set a new record for giving and make an impact in support of ECU. Pirate Nation Gives is March 4th. Visit give.ecu.edu to be a part of the big day for ECU.
HIV is not a crime, or it shouldn't be. People living with HIV can do and live fully healthy lives
without risk of transmitting the virus to others.
But a different fear remains.
In 30 states, Americans are being imprisoned due to their HIV status.
It's time for the laws to catch up to science.
Join the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation to modernize outdated HIV criminalization laws. Go to etaf.org.
HIV is not a crime.
Campaign funded through the support of Gilead Sciences Incorporated.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free? Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free? Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself?
Because I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
Oh, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. We're still having discussions about whether or not we should have 3-on-3 overtime in the gold medal game of hockey at the Olympics. Why are we doing that? Why are we having this conversation? We got to get the event over. We can't be here forever.
Exactly. Are we going to talk about whether a hot dog is a sandwich too? Why are we doing?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not having the debate with all of you again. We've already done that. That was like 10 years ago. All right. The football is cranking back up. Scouting combine at the end of the week. We're not that far away from the draft. We have free agency. Franchise tag season is here. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. Sorts the Sunday pile. It's Tuesday. No pile. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was going to say something about the 3-on-3 hockey.
You can say whatever you want.
No, I think that it's kind of insane to end like a gold medal game that way.
Sure.
But then any like massive event. But then two, it sure seems nice that you end up winning like both times at like it's like U.S. versus Canada. You're like, yeah, I love the 3-on-3. We're 2-0.
Right.
If we go 0-2, we'd really be. Everyone would be complaining about it.
Canada won an overtime game in the quarterfinals, too. They won an overtime game in the semifinals, right? No, they didn't. They won right before the end of regulation. They beat Finland with a goal with like 30 seconds to go. So, look, we got to get the games have to end.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem is that, you run into, it's sort of like NFL overtime where they don't want it to be like college overtime that can go on in perpetuity.
Ever.
And obviously, college changed it because they may start going for 2 sooner. That's the whole thing, is you just can't have the games go on for like 10 hours because teams have to play the next week, or in the case of, the hockey, like you might have to play like the next day or like the day after. I mean, so yeah, it's one of those things that you do it because it wraps it up. It's also absolutely electric having 3 people on each side out on the ice.
I mean, I love open space and watching the best skilled players in the world do their thing. I like watching the best player on earth and maybe the second best player on earth forget how to play overtimes. Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon. I'm here.
And by the way, wouldn't you more than likely end up in a situation, like not more than likely, but if you went regular overtime, wouldn't you probably end up at PKs anyway at some point?
Well, not if they say we're going to play till we get a winner, which, like, I know it was never going to happen, but let's just say they played 20 minutes of 3-on-3. They were going off the ice. They were going to resurface, and 18 minutes later, we're coming back for another 3-on-3 period. I mean, we could
exactly. That's the thing, is if you go full teams on each side for 20 minutes, like, you're probably going to get a second overtime, not more often than not, but pretty regularly.
Oh yes, no doubt about it. We see it. We see it a lot in the playoffs, right? No doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. We should talk football. Will Brinson is here. Let me just start with a couple. I have a bunch of stuff on quarterbacks. The Falcons told Kirk Cousins that March 11th. I don't know why they got so specific with the date. March 11th.
Sorry, first day of the new league year.
Okay, he would be free to go. So, is he free to go somewhere? Is somebody interested in Kirk Cousins, do you think?
Yeah, I think there'll be interest in him. There's dominoes here, right? Like Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, is he going to come back with Mike McCarthy? Is that a marriage that Kirk Cousins would want? I don't know that you really want Kirk Cousins in Pittsburgh at his age. It's like there's just a lot of dominoes that kind of have to shake out. And you also have teams, who need a quarterback but probably aren't going to want to, like does Kirk Cousins want to be a starter? Is he willing to take on a backup veteran role? Where it wouldn't be the worst fit in the entire world for Kirk Cousins is Minnesota. JJ, I'm not even kidding. He loves Kevin O'Connell. They didn't necessarily want to let him go, but the math was funky. And the GM's been fired since then, and they don't really know if JJ McCarthy is good enough to win for them. So they might say, Kirk, you want to take a smaller deal with like some incentives in it, and if you win the job, you can start the whole year, and we'll figure it out with JJ later. I mean, that's not the craziest thing in the world.
I think it's close. Maybe not the craziest thing in the world, but I think it's on the list. Will Brinson is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. What do we think about Tua Tagovailoa's future?
They would love to trade him out of Miami.
Sure, they would. Would anybody like to trade for him?
Well, you going to give me I gave you Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. I mean, the crazier thing would be to suggest that somebody's going to trade for Tua Tagovailoa.
Right.
It's just like, it's probably not going to happen. It's going to come down to, do they want to? There's a lot of interest in the Dolphins bringing in Malik Willis, who's the former Titans draftee who went to the Packers and has had is a really dynamic rushing quarterback who made some serious strides in the passing game, was awesome in Matt LaFleur's offense for stretches when he had to fill in for Jordan Love. And it was kind of, I don't know if it was under the radar, I think it was last night, but it came out that the Dolphins are bringing in John Robinson, who's the former Titans GM, the one that traded A.J. Brown and, Mike Vrabel won a power struggle with before eventually losing his own power struggle. But John Robinson is the guy, I believe, that drafted Malik Robinson. Yep. So bringing him to Miami is sort of one of those things that maybe pushes the Dolphins over the line in terms of getting Malik Willis down there in South Beach. And I think Malik Willis is kind of a nice, bring him in, see how it works. Jeff Hafley's worked with him, of course, not on the same side of the ball, but stretches in Green Bay there.
Sure.
And so I think that can make sense. And if you do that, with Tua, you can't play him because you really just can't play him because if he gets hurt, listen, you can't trade him and you're like, okay, we signed Malik Willis, but Malik gets hurt. Do we play Tua? It's like, if you play Tua and he gets hurt, you're going to have to pay his contract for another year if he can't pass his physical at the end of the year. And with Tua's injury history, it's just a really dicey situation. So it's either they're going to, I think it's unlikely they trade him. It's not impossible. We've seen weirder things. More than likely, they're going to cut him and eat a monster cap hit. I think it's like $99 million this year. Or they sit on him for, just let him be inactive a la Deshaun Watson, but for obviously different reasons. Let him be inactive for a year and then move on from him after this season and just pay sort of the cash price. Remember, they've changed over front office. They've changed over coaching staff. So it's not like these guys are necessarily being penalized for previous regimes. It's Stephen Ross just has to eat that cash. But I think it's very possible, because they like Quinn Ewers, or at least say they like Quinn Ewers. I think it's very possible they just sign Malik Willis, have Quinn Ewers there, cut Tua, and just suffer through. It's like every year we get the new largest cap hit for a quarterback in NFL history.
So I don't know what the contract would look like for the team that acquired him. Let's just say a team, because the Jets are dumb enough to do anything. Let's say the Jets traded a fifth-round pick to the Dolphins for Tua and a second. I don't even know if that's viable. What would the cap hit for the Jets?
You're suggesting like a Brock Osweiler.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not crazy. So I think you would probably have to.
Could you restructure the contract to make it work salary cap wise, or is that dumb?
No. You would need to do that with Tua, because you would take on a $54 million cap hit if you trade for Tua,
right?
Which is just like, what are you doing?
Correct.
It would require like a team that was truly tanking. Like the Browns were when they traded for Brock Osweiler, where they're like, if you give us a second-round pick, we will squat on this $54 million. Now, I mean, I would argue that, it wouldn't be crazy for a team like the Raiders to go and do it, because you just get, the draft pick could be immensely valuable, especially if it's like Malik Willis and Quinn Ewers in South Beach this year. Maybe they're not that great. So, yeah, I think that's probably a possibility, but that's really the only way out.
All right, that makes sense. Speaking of the Raiders, does look like they're going to draft Fernando Mendoza. I know they have discussed publicly, well, we're going to see what we can get for the first overall pick. I'm pretty sure they're going to take the quarterback, which means that Geno Smith needs to find a home, unless Geno Smith's going to hang out there and be the bridge quarterback or the backup to Fernando Mendoza. It doesn't make great sense, honestly. Where is Geno Smith's future?
Maybe he can play in like a mahjong game with Pete Carroll.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, look, Pete Carroll was the guy who, more than anybody, believed in Geno Smith. I mean, he replaced Russell Wilson with Geno Smith. Geno played great. Gave Geno a big contract. Geno then struggled with a new regime. They, they trade him to Seattle, sign Sam Darnold, win the Super Bowl. I mean, I would guess like Geno is a backup or Geno ends up in a backup role somewhere and sort of kind of rebooting the cycle that he was in before. Remember, he was a second-round pick with the Jets, 2013, I think, and punched a teammate. God, so long ago. Punched a teammate in the face.
No, was punched by a teammate.
Oh, he got punched by a teammate.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yes. I mean, I even blogged about that.
Preseason game in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, just I think at this point, he left the Jets and he had to restart and come in, live life as a backup and sort of go through that cycle. And now he's going to have to do it again, except a little bit older and maybe an intriguing landing spot where he goes. But I don't think he's going to end up somewhere where he'll see meaningful starter reps.
I believe just bringing up mahjong in conjunction with where's Geno Smith going to be says everything we need to know about that. All right, you referenced Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh. I think that Pittsburgh made a huge mistake in hiring Mike McCarthy to be the head coach. I think it would be as big a mistake to bring Aaron Rodgers back. I don't know what the Steelers are doing. I think at best they are what they were this past year, and that is maybe a team that can make the playoffs, but more than likely a team that's not going to win a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm with you on the Mike McCarthy thing. Now, he could be good in Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh. Don't know if you heard that.
I have heard that. Why not just hire Dan Marino?
It's so ridiculous. It's like, he's from Pittsburgh.
Right.
It's like, cool, man. Like, I mean, can I be like mayor of High Point?
So is Vincent Trocheck. Vincent Trocheck is from Pittsburgh. Hire him to be the head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think just on the hiring itself, and I'm sure we talked about this at some point, and I just forget, but like, you've done this thing with the Steelers for the last like 60 years where you go out and hire, a young, up and coming like coordinator, usually on the defensive side, who you think can, be the guy. And it's worked out 2 times really well with Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. Like, no one is going to question that. Both one a Hall of Famer and maybe Mike Tomlin fringe Hall of Famer. So to do that it's just a little weird. And Mike McCarthy won a bunch of games with the Cowboys. But then the Cowboys were better after, offensively with Brian Schottenheimer, which is a little weird. So now you've got, no Mike Tomlin. This defense maybe takes a little step back, as we've seen if Mike McCarthy makes the wrong defensive hire, which he's done several times in his career. And you have this idea like, all right, let's just run it. Let's just pretend this is like Green Bay in 2017 or something like that, which does not seem like the best formula for winning in the modern NFL.
No.
That being said, I do think Rodgers will come back one more time to go against Mike McCarthy or to go with Mike McCarthy.
Okay, I thought you meant to go against him. Who's signing him?
Sorry. No, he's not going to sign with the Ravens and spite play Mike McCarthy. But I do think he'll come back, play with Mike McCarthy, have that reunion. It's a system he knows well. You got DK Metcalf, who can serve kind of pretty. He's not Devontae Adams, but in terms of freelancing, getting open, and having the deep shots, that makes a little bit of sense. You need to add some talent at wide receiver, but I think Rodgers will come back eventually, and it'll probably be about 2 or 3 weeks from now when we find out. Don't get me wrong, I agree with you. It's probably not the most efficient way to operate for 2026, but I think they're going to do it anyway.
And it's very anti-Steelers, and I'm not a Steelers fan. I have great respect for the way that organization has gone about their business, and I don't know what they're really thinking about, because I think it's pretty obvious that as a roster, they ain't it. And they need a much better plan, but this is what happens when you basically Tomlin has held that team's head above water for I think he is a Hall of Famer. But I get it, only one Super Bowl, I understand. But I think Tomlin's held that team above water for most of the last decade, and I don't even think they're making the playoffs with Mike McCarthy as the head coach. Let me before we.
By the way, the Hall of Fame thing is tricky too. That's why I've said fringe, just because Bill Belichick's not in, and Mike Shanahan's not in. So it's
real quick about Shanahan, because I talked about this when I saw the ballot, and he was not a finalist. I was a little surprised that he was not a finalist. For my money, another coach, not a head coach, that was on that list of potential Hall of Famers, Alex Gibbs, who was the zone blocking scheme guy.
Yeah.
He was the offensive line coach, I believe, when Shanahan won the 2 Super Bowls with Denver.
Correct. I mean, look, Terrell, this is I think a lot of times with the coaching stuff, and you talk about the contributors, right? Robert Kraft's a contributor, Jerry Jones a contributor. I mean, how about the fact that what coaches contributed to the game?
Yep.
Bill Belichick forced the competition committee to change the way that defense was played, mostly Bill Polian, because the Patriots were shutting down the Colts and Peyton Manning's offense with their aggressive man coverage. The Shanahan tree, one, you've got, of course, the coaches that coached under Mike Shanahan. I mean, Mike Shanahan's winning on his own, but then you have Gary Kubiak. Well, now you have his kid and Shanahan's kid who are head coaches in the NFL. Like, all these coaches get jobs through Kyle Shanahan, which only happened because of Mike Shanahan. I'm not saying because I don't think
it's all a connection to Bill Walsh.
Well, sure. I mean,
it's all Bill Walsh's tree.
But you can draw it back as far as you want. I'm just saying that, like, the Shanahan offense and the zone runs and all that has pervaded the NFL for decades now, and I think it's crazy that he's not in.
But to me, that was Alex Gibbs. But that's fine. I talked about it at the time. All right. Final thing: A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles going to kiss and make up, or no?
I would say, no. I don't. I think. I mean, I'll say maybe. I think there's a pretty good chance that A.J. Brown is unhappy, that A.J. Brown is tired of the drama in Philadelphia, and that A.J. Brown sees his old buddy Mike Vrabel doing some good stuff in New England with a quarterback in Drake May who throws the ball down the field really well and in need of kind of exactly what A.J. Brown is with the Patriots, and sort of like, maybe doesn't kiss and make up, and they find a way to get him to New England this offseason. I don't think the Patriots – I don't think the Eagles want to trade A.J. Brown, but they also just have, they have Devontae Smith. They've been good about acquiring talent. And if A.J. Brown is going to, if the locker room is going to continue to roil the way it has over the last few years, it feels kind of untenable.
Does it have a chance to work if A.J. Brown and Stephon Diggs are in the same locker room?
I mean, it has a chance to be explosive, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, man. People covering the Patriots, assuming that there's still any of those left, would have a good time covering that team. Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com. He sorts the Sunday pile. My friend, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon, man.
You got it. When we come back, we will stretch and we will place bets. I found the greatest, I think it's a parenting video. It's all about how to teach your kids about fandom and the price of fandom. As we stretch next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol program is here to protect you from fraud and provide you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. How would you like to go to the NBA Finals? Well, FanDuel can help. And FanDuel is providing you with a lot here. Check this out. All you have to do, use your profit boost on an NBA future bet like San Antonio versus Detroit in the NBA Finals. And all you got to do is that. You don't even have to be right. And FanDuel will enter you for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. Take your best buddy or take your worst enemy and leave him in that city. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 entry. For Profit Boost tokens, opt-in required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry, at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Practicing a championship way can happen 100% of every day, on the court and when traveling highways. A law of sportsmanship includes taking the high road when going away and returning home. Buckle up your seatbelt in the front and back seats. Every seat, every time. Each time you click it, it counts as a winning ticket. Demonstrate your championship drive through your safety practice. A buckled seatbelt is a winning bucket. This message is brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
You know the only feeling sweeter than opening a college acceptance letter? Knowing that you'll be able to pay for tuition however far you go. The first step? Completing the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA for short. Find out how much money for college you qualify for. Grants, scholarships, and other opportunities are waiting. How far can you go? Find out at cfnc.org/FAFSA101.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, may I ask a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Great. Do you have a pool outside?
Nope, just a big old backyard.
Nice. Another question. Are there any unlocked guns in the home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, let's just talk about what we can bring for dessert.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is Adam Gold.
Steve Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just move this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. Next hour, David Teel covers Virginia. We will talk to him about State's trip to Charlottesville. Also, pretty gigantic week for the Cavaliers. Not only do they host State tonight in a game in which the Wolfpack are looking for revenge. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Duke's going to be down here on Saturday as Virginia and Duke run at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke, I believe, has the a scrimmage at Notre Dame today.
Yeah, they do. They're only, what is that, minus 3,000.
Yeah, I kid. You can lose to anybody, but it's going to take some work to lose to Notre Dame for Duke. I mean, Notre Dame's better than Boston College. I'm not so sure how much. Anyway, should we stretch? All right. Can I lead this one real quick?
Go for it.
So, people know I'm a Mets fan.
Yes.
Right? I'm a Mets fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a Mets fan.
Former Jets, current, still Mets.
And it's because baseball meant so much more to me as a kid.
Yeah.
That I will never not be a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Am I as wrapped up in it now as a, somebody, over 40 as I was when I was far younger? No, I'm not. I don't think I'm wrapped up in anything the way I would have been as a young person. But I am a Mets fan, and I'm not a Jets fan anymore. I'm sort of not really a Knicks fan anymore. John Oliver, yes, that John Oliver, HBO's John Oliver, has created a Mets fan out of his son.
Long losing streak. He turned to me and said, "Are you allowed to change the team that you support?" And I looked him in his eyes and said, "No."
By the way, he's on with Seth Meyers.
No, you made this choice. You didn't. I pushed this on you, but this is going to be your life. now is going to be them doing this to you forever.
Yeah.
As long as they're a franchise, they will do this to you in different ways.
Yeah.
He had his favourite player last year was Pete Alonso, and I think he's going to be leaving in the summer. And watching him fall in love with this guy, he has a signed ball, and having to go into his room and say, Pete Alonso's gone to Baltimore. And he said, are you sure I can't be an Orioles fan? We've had this discussion.
Did you also say, and he wants the ball back? It's just very... well, it's lovely that you found... I never realized how British the Mets are until you
Yeah, they're
explained
pretty
it.
British. Like in terms of like what they promise you and like that the understanding that you're going to be marinating in disappointment and the variable joys of different forms of loss. In that sense, it's everything I love about the world.
England's team.
That is fantastic. The Mets are British. I don't know, man. It's, I feel seen. But I've never, ever not been a Mets fan. It is what we are.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's okay.
It's all right to have your team.
There's really not much of a difference between being a Mets fan and being a Cubs fan, right?
I wouldn't think so, no. Mm-mm.
We've both won, basically. Mets have won one more, maybe two more World Series than the Cubs. Since, what, was it 16? When did the Cubs win? 16?
Yeah, it was back then.
Right?
16.
And the one before them was like in the...
40, 19.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a minute. The Mets have won a little bit more recently. Not much. 86, that's our last one.
No goats.
And 69.
Yeah.
Been to 2000 and 2015, losing to the Royals. And I've had some other near misses, but it's not great for either franchise.
No.
It's just not.
No.
So.
Questionable choices sometimes don't help either. So there's that.
At least the Cubs have more romance to them.
Yes.
The Mets don't have a lot of romance.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of strip mall. There's
exactly.
no soul or culture.
No.
To being a Mets
just
fan.
Slightly abandoned.
Yeah.
A little smelly. Questionable area. Yeah.
I can't even counter that. All right.
Well, I don't know about...
You take over now.
I don't know about this place. I'm sure it's going to be fresh because in Zebulon, they now have a new baseball team. It's official. I don't know. I can't remember exactly when this Name Your Team contest was going on because the Mudcats moved. So no more Mudcats out there. However, after nearly 3,000 submissions and over 900 unique names in this contest, they narrowed it down to 5. And the finalist won apparently by 80% of the votes. So an overwhelming winner. And now they're going with the Devil Dogs. So for people who are wondering, like, why is Zebulon going with Devil Dogs? That is actually like a town history because there was a local textile and it was textile history, and their personality is built off toughness. Also, fun little fact, reading in this article about them, their roster is going to have Australian players in it as well.
I like that.
They're partnering with Ozball Australia.
Nice.
So
I'm a fan of that. Maybe that's the Z, right? Could
Yes.
that be a Z? Because Devil Dogs is with the Z at the end.
Yes.
All I see when I hear Devil Dogs is the
a
cake.
Snack. Yeah, I know.
It's the greatest snack cake ever.
It's going to be a missed opportunity if they don't sell them there.
Just,
they need to.
They should give them away. Everybody who comes through the gate gets a Devil Dog.
Yeah.
And you just need a carton of ice cold milk.
Like you used to get in school. Just a little tiny one. Just enough.
Give me half a pint. One Devil Dog.
Yep.
1/2 pint of ice cold milk. I'm good.
Yep. In the little container that after you took like 3 or 4 sips, it started like crumbling.
It'll never make it to that far. Because,
No.
first of all, after one bite of the devil dog, you need the milk.
Chug it. Yeah.
But it's the greatest snack cake in the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe they will have it on their first game, which is May 22nd at 5 County Stadium.
Yeah, and this is college baseball, wood bat leagues.
Right.
They're great.
Oh,
Fun.
yeah.
Super fun.
Super fun.
The Holly Springs Salamanders
Mhm.
I don't know if they're the flagship team.
Yeah.
But, Coastal Plain
Fun,
League.
too. Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Dynamite.
So, you know what else is fun? Placing good bets.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
Yeah, Duke's a big favorite. We'll talk about that in a minute. You go first.
Okay, so all basketball. NC State's going to be in Virginia. Let's go with the underdog Wolfpack. Why not? It might be tough, but plus 240. Maybe they can get some kind of streak going.
Yeah, NC State plus, to win outright. That's on the money line is plus 240.
Yep.
If you couple that with under 150.5, because I think they're going to have to bring their defensive boots to this one.
Mhm.
Under 150.5, it's plus 407.
Oh, okay. Spice it up a little. The Duke and Notre Dame game, like I mentioned, Duke is minus 3,000 with 3 zeros. But I'm going to also take the over 140.5. That is still minus 105, but maybe make a parlay out of it. Maybe.
Oh, I dig that.
Yeah, not terrible.
I dig all of that. We are going to take Duke minus the 17.5 and under 140.5, and that is plus 257.
Nice. And last but not least, Charlotte Hornets trying to make some great basketball in Charlotte, but they're going to be in Chicago. So give me the Hornets to win on the road. Under 232.5 plus 150.
All right, here's what's interesting. The Hurricanes opened the season at over-under points at 106.5. It's now 110.5.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan.
And me, Chris Lee from WRAL-TV.
We're in the offseason, but our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics, rolls on.
In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as the NFL Draft approaches.
Insights on free agents and prospects.
Plus all the insider info on who the Panthers want to pick at number 19.
Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Dear hero, whoever you are, you save lives. I live with sickle cell and the pain and the issues that come along with sickle cell every day. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime, probably in the hundreds. Blood helps me to be able to live.
My final tour was in Afghanistan in 2008. I was hit June 3rd. The next thing I remember, I woke up in Germany. The doctor came in and said, we're going to amputate your leg. I had to get a lot of blood transfusion to stay alive.
Because of you, I'm allowed to see my son grow up.
Because of you, I got a second chance at life.
Giving equals living. Give blood. Replenish the supply. Make an appointment to give today by visiting hhs.gov/giveblood. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The shot, they score!
Be part of the loudest house in the NHL. Win tickets to see the Carolina Hurricanes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins at Lenovo Center on Tuesday, March 10th by visiting hurricanes.com/radio and registering to win.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's Bo time.
There's Bo time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Amy Cox did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. And with that money, she decided to treat herself to an anti-aging red light mask. Will she look like a horror movie villain every night? Yes. Will her boyfriend Kevin be scarred for life? That's certainly a risk. But it's Amy's savings, and if she's willing to risk her relationship for smooth, wrinkle-free skin, well, bye-bye, Kevin. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Connor Hellebuck in the playoffs. I've played against him. I've seen a lot of his body of work. I've never seen a goaltending performance from him in his career like that. Not even close. And from start to finish, there was never a point where he looked shaky, where he looked like he was leaky, like he was unsure of his game, of his positioning, of his angles. None of that. Rebound controlled on fuego. No buena. Every time, grade A opportunity, second and third saves. He's not a ballroom dancer in there. He's break dancing when he needs to. Like, I loved his game today. He went out and took that game.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. PK Subban, who is one of the ESPN NHL analysts, former defenseman, talking about Team USA's goaltender Connor Hellebuck. Can't really argue with anything PK said there. Hellebuck was great in the gold medal game. 41 saves through 3 periods and the overtime. Just awesome. Absolutely stellar performance. And I know we talked about this with EJ Raddick on Monday, but the narrative around Hellebuck not being able to win the big game's over. Like, I understand it's not a long Stanley Cup playoff run. And the U.S. was, to varying degrees, significantly better than everybody they played except for Canada and, to a lesser extent, Sweden. They were much better than Sweden. Of course, it was still an overtime game. Still. The rest of the competition, which is why when we talked about the Connor McDavid MVP of the Olympics, the whole thing was a joke to me that he was the MVP. I get it. When they had to vote, the fact is, if you look at the Olympic men's hockey MVP awards, it's rare that they have chosen a player on the winning team. I don't even understand that.
No. Makes no sense.
I mean, I've talked about this with regards to most valuable player awards across sports. Whether it's a regular season award or a playoff award. 2 things quickly. 1, if it's a regular season award, your team doesn't have to make the playoffs, but you have to be the reason that the team, challenged for a playoff spot, was viable for a playoff spot. So to me, that's the first criteria. Because if you're on the worst team in the league, it doesn't matter to me if you're the best player. If you're on the worst team, yeah, you ain't that valuable. I'm not saying valuable is doing a little bit of extra work there. I just would not consider you. And in the playoffs, I just cannot fathom giving an MVP award to a player whose team did not win. I don't. Again, maybe I'm overthinking it. Everything's on the table.
McDavid's got 2 of them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Being the loser team. Wow.
I don't even want to be disrespectful to that, right?
No, but that almost feels more difficult to get an MVP but be on the losing team.
Players not named Connor McDavid, It's difficult. I would submit, especially nowadays, no other player could ever be on the losing team and be voted the MVP. No chance. 0 chance at all. But McDavid, who hasn't won anything yet, got to make people feel good. And real quick, just to finish the topic, I guess. It wasn't that I thought Connor Hellebuyck should have been named the MVP based on when the votes had to be in after the first period, because I would not have said that Connor Hellebuyck was the reason the USA won gold, because he did not have to be as great in either of the 2 knockout round games. Whether it was against Sweden, where he was very good, or against Slovakia, in which the United States jumped out to, I think it was 4-0 lead in the second period. I mean, the U.S. dominated the game. They didn't need, anybody could have played goal. They could have used Jake Ottinger or Jeremy Swayman. They didn't need Connor Hellebuyck, but once you got to the medal round, he was going to play. I thought the MVP at that point, you could have argued, should have been Quinn Hughes or Jack Hughes. Because Quinn, at that point, through one period, he assisted, by the way, on the Matt Boldy goal. He had 4 points in the knockout games, including the quarterfinal overtime game winner. Connor McDavid had 4 points to that point as well, 2 assists in each game. To me, if I had to submit a vote, at that point it would have been Quinn Hughes. But I am not here pining for things for Connor McDavid. And I said yesterday, and I think this to be true, I think it does a disservice to Connor McDavid. He doesn't need to be reminded that his team fell short. He doesn't need it. He knows how great he is. He knows he's the best player on earth. He doesn't need you telling him that. All right, I guess we should get to the wall of sound.
The wall of sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
Phillip Rivers, dad of Gunnar Rivers, who in 2027 will arrive at NC State as one of the highest profile recruits of the entire cycle. Dad's name matters, but as the dad, what most excites you about Gunnar?
I think that's what you're most proud of as a dad is the teammate that he is and the type of young man that he's aspiring to be and turning into a grown man. I cannot, when I grab him, I go, man, it's not going to be long. He'll be able to put me in my place. But he really loves this team, loves being a part of this school and this program, and that's been really refreshing, because there's so much going on the outside, right, from recruiting to all this stuff. And he every time I say, hey, we need to go to a game, hey, we need to go to this, he's like, Dad, I'm good, we're good. I'm going to throw right here. I'm going to do this right here. So obviously those things are coming down the line, but it's been fun to see. Obviously I'm the coach of the team, but as this dad, to see how the teammates respond to him and react to him, and that's a credit to him of how he's handled it. He didn't come in here like, oh, I'm the coach's son and I'll do this. He really has integrated as one of the guys, and I think that goes a long way.
I mean, that's the most important thing as a parent, right? How your son or daughter interacts, how they are looked at by their peers. I mean, that's the number one job. So, I'm here. I'm absolutely here for that. Last night, Carolina beat Louisville. I don't know what the final score ended up being. Carolina really blew them out, and then all of a sudden it was a game, and Seth Trimble was the whole reason why the Tar Heels won. He had a career-high 30 points. I believe he had his career high before halftime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think 16 or 18 points was his career high. He's never been a huge scorer. 30 points is a huge game. My favorite part of the game is that he did it without the three-point shot. 1 of 3 from 3. He was exactly who he is supposed to be. Hubert Davis on it.
Seth was huge for us tonight on both ends of the floor. He had the responsibility of, guarding Brown, and what a responsibility that is. He's a fantastic player. But against their defense, they're long, they're athletic, very versatile. You have to find ways to be able to break down their defense and be able to consistently score, and Seth was our guy. Coming off ball screens, the thing that I loved about him was he was thinking attack. He wasn't coming off looking to pass. One of the things that I've told him is, when you come off of a ball screen, you're 100% thinking score, and then let the defense dictate whether you make a pass or you go to the basket. And Seth's ability to be able to get downhill, he was able to score, draw fouls, just a huge difference maker for us against a really good defensive team.
If Seth Davis continues doing those things, not Seth Davis, Seth Trimble. Shouts to my friend Seth Davis, Basketball HQ. If Seth Trimble continues doing those things, then, Carolina is better for it. You don't have to be a three-point shooter. They have other guys to do that. You can't avoid it, but it doesn't have to be like a main part of what you do. All right, we'll take a break here. David Teel will join us on the other side. Wolfpack with a tall ask in Charlottesville tonight and a big week ahead for the Wahoos. David Teel, Newport News Daily Press, will join us next.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eichander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and we are going to prove it to you by giving you an opportunity to go to the NBA Finals, courtesy of FanDuel. All you have to do, use your profit boost on an NBA future, maybe the Spurs to win it all, maybe the Knicks to come out of the East. What are we talking about? That's not going to happen. Either way, hey, you might like it. And it doesn't really matter because once you use your profit boost on that, you are now entered for a chance to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. It's that easy. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. Get started. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 entry. For Profit Boost tokens, opt-in required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry, at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped. Opt out.
Hey, man, how did the date go?
I had
to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them, see if you qualify. $750? Boom! And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text WORTH to 323232. That's WORTH to 323232. WORTH to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FindCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers.
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
I have his jersey.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you have any other jerseys or just a Jake Delhomme?
I got so many.
Do you really?
I go all the way back from Tim Biakabatuka.
Wow.
Yes. Cam, Luke, obviously, Smitty. So, yeah, I've got multiple. 6 or 7, maybe?
6, 7?
6, 7? 6, 7?
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. Before we talk a little hoops, I believe at the Combine, we found out that Dave Canales, head coach of the Carolina Panthers, is going to pass the play sheet on to Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator.
I'm excited for that.
You know what it tells me more than anything? That Dave Canales is starting to feel comfortable and trust others.
Yeah.
And there is a lot to be said for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll speak more about what that means the rest of the week. But the first thing I thought of, not that Brad could do a better job calling plays, it's that now Dave Canales is trusting other people around him.
Yeah.
And that is a very, very good sign.
And we got that going. David Tepper's still been quiet lately, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Oh, his soccer season started.
He's got to bring the music to Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right. And we have to bring concerts back. David Teel, whether it's the Newport News Daily Press, Virginia Pilot, places that still have newspapers and sports departments, David Teel joins us on the Adam Gold Show. He covers Virginia sports. How are you, sir?
Adam, good afternoon. It's always good to talk to you in Victoria.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. I took my shot at Jeff Bezos there. All right, let's get to tonight's game because I know it is a huge week for UVA. Not only the rematch against State and Virginia had their way with the Wolfpack down here last month, but also the trip coming up to Cameron Indoor Stadium. But let's big picture this from Virginia's standpoint first. I don't know how much was expected internally, but I know externally I don't think people thought Virginia would be good. Brendan Marks from The Athletic told me yesterday he thinks Virginia is the number 2 team in the ACC. What were the expectations within the program, and for those of you who are close to it, that you had going into this season?
Adam, Ryan Odom was gracious enough to allow me some preseason access back in the summer. And I went up and spent the better part of the day with the staff and then watching practice. And while I was watching practice, I was sitting next to the likes of Jeff Jones and Dave Odom, and then Rick Carlisle popped in. And, you talk about a basketball education now. And they didn't even have Testa Ritter at that point, or Johan Grunlow. Neither had been cleared to practice yet. In fact, Ritter wasn't even in the States. So it wasn't a complete team. And even then, number one, you could tell how Ryan Odom wanted to play and how diametrically opposite it was to Tony Bennett's approach. And number two, you could see the talent. The transfers, yes, they came from mid-majors. Sam Lewis from Toledo, Jakari White from North Dakota State, Devin Till of San Diego State, go down the list. But there was skill here. And then to hear them rave about Ritter and Grunlow and what they would bring, you just got a sense that the staff was quite confident in what they had on their hands.
David Teel is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. You say players come from mid-majors. I mean, I just watched Saturday night, Yaxel Lendenborg, and I'm blown away that guy's not already in the NBA. He is that good a player. I mean, 6'9", big body, can shoot the ball from deep. So, yeah, and, I mean, while not a great shooter, I mean, DeRitter is – I don't know if DeRitter might not be a better all-around player. I mean, I don't want to get into a comparison, but he does a little bit of everything.
And he's so darn strong, Adam. Man. And, he's had his moments of adjusting. One of Ryan Odom's favorite phrases is, be physical without fouling.
Yeah.
And he may even add some words after that, and it's not pretty please. But DeRitter is exceptional, and he's listed technically as a freshman.
Right.
But really, he only has 2 years of eligibility per the NCAA. So do you vote him on the all-freshman team?
I don't know. I mean, if he's listed as a freshman, then he can be voted on for the all-freshman team. But here's when you said he's only got 2 years of eligibility, just file a lawsuit. You get all the eligibility you want if you file a lawsuit against the NCAA. So, because they don't win those. I mean, some of them they do. But who knows? Circumstances change everywhere. I think as long as you haven't played 6 years of college, you should basically be allowed to play 4. David Teel is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Going back to the game that was played down here, where I thought Virginia just did whatever they wanted. To me, that was about State just not really defending very well. What is your anticipation of the game tonight? Assuming State brings their defensive shoes, I think they are equipped to at least – I mean, the size factor I don't think they can overcome. But they've got a lot of weapons away from the basket that can really be a problem.
They do indeed, and it all starts, you and your list with Quadir Copeland.
Yeah.
And what a matchup issue he is. What is he, 6'6", 220?
Yeah.
Talk about strong now, and gets to where he wants to be, and just fearless. I was riveted by his performance, Adam, at SMU. And I know he missed the 2 free throws late, and it got a little hairy for the Pack. But, man, to have that kind of effort on the road with no turnovers, I forget the exact numbers, but he was so good. And, Virginia's got some defensive options that it can go with on him. Dallin Hall is a big physical point guard from BYU. He's the one high major transfer that the Cavaliers brought in. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach him, simply because Copeland really wasn't Copeland back in early January when these two teams first met. And, Matt Abel wasn't Matt Abel, and Darion Williams wasn't playing great. So and Jakari White didn't even play in the game. That's back when he had the wrist issue. So, two very different teams from 6-7 weeks ago.
Yeah, and if I recall, who was it? Was it Thomas that had the big shooting day?
No.
It was Lewis. Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking at the box score. Thomas wasn't awful. He made 3 of 8. That would be more than I would make. So, David Teel, he is with us from the Virginian Pilot and Newport News Daily Press, joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Here's the, if you could sort of big picture Virginia here this week. We have talked about it a lot. I think they were in the top 4 seeds on the recent NCAA bracket reveal.
They were the final number 4.
Where do you think they legitimately are? Are they the second team in the ACC? Are they to that level where they are a top 4 national seed?
Yes. I think they're that versatile. They are that deep, Adam. Their bench, theirs and Clemson's have been the most effective benches in the conference. See, I believe Clemson won a game at Stanford earlier by getting 23 points combined from starters, which was just crazy. But with Chance Mallory and Onyenso and now Jakari White being healthy, those 3 off the bench, and they're so different. Onyenso is the 7-footer and such an effective rim protector. Jakari White is instant offense, and Chance Mallory is this little 5'10" freshman point guard from right there in Charlottesville. The one rotation guy who Tony Bennett recruited to the program. And he's been great. He's a double-figure scorer, assist turnover ratio off the charts. And, look, they lost at home to Carolina, but clearly they've been more consistent than the Tar Heels. They're 2 games clear of anyone for second place right now. So until shown otherwise, I would say absolutely Virginia is the number 2 team in the ACC.
And isn't Chance Mallory like the quintessential modern Virginia player that the fans fall in love with, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's like out of central casting. When the first time I saw him, I'm like, oh, man, this is perfect. UVA fans absolutely have their new guy.
Yeah, oh, my gosh. Yeah. St. Anne's Belfield, which is where all the coaches' kids go there. And
right.
Oh, my gosh. He is the people's choice.
All right, now fast forward to Saturday. That is a big lift for Virginia, but with their size, they might be equipped to put the fear of a loss into the Blue Devils. No,
they could absolutely. They've got, again, the size and depth. When you have 2 7-footers like Grunlow and Onyenso, and who can block shots the way they can. And as we saw in Chapel Hill, when Big Pac gets in foul trouble, or as we saw Saturday in D.C., they did hold the fort when Cam Boozer went out with 4 fouls there deep into the second half. But without Gumba, when he fouled out with 4 and change or maybe even 5 and change at Carolina, boy, they really suffered. And that's no knock at Malik Brown coming off the bench, but just that size and presence. So sure, could Virginia give them a run? Absolutely. Do I expect Virginia to win the game? No.
How good do you think Duke is?
Saturday showed me an awful lot. That's Michigan is still, by Ken Pom, is the most efficient defense in the country. And with that game on the line, Duke scored 11 points on its final 5 possessions. Just remarkable. And it all, Boozer didn't score them all, but it all went through him.
Yep.
And, the 3 that he made off the kick out was so good and so pure. And I think they absolutely right now deserve to be the number 1 team in the country. They will be, barring the strange and unusual, on the number 1 line for an NCAA tournament regional. And they're right there with Michigan and Arizona in that top tier.
David Teel, Newport News Daily Press, for joining us here on the Adam Gold Show at @ByDavidTeel on Twitter. I probably should hang on to this comparison until we get deep into an NCAA tournament, potential NCAA tournament run. But there are some elements of this team that remind me of 2010. That team was the 3rd best team in the country, arguably. Kansas and Kentucky were really standouts, 1 and 2, and they both failed to make it to the Final Four. And Duke was the type of a team that, they were unconventional. John Shire was the point guard. They had Kyle Singler, but they weren't loaded with great players. They just knew how to win. They played a different way. They played a little bit slower. They played different defensively, but they were a great rebounding team. This team is a great rebounding team. They have more talent than that other team had, and they just remind me of 2010. It may have something to do with the head coach being the point guard. I don't know. But that's a working theory I'm on.
And it's not a bad theory at all. And that's, again, Adam, what makes Saturday at Cameron so fascinating. Virginia is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, let alone the conference. And now one of those reasons is because they shoot so many threes, there are a lot of long rebounds.
Sure.
And they can be very random. And Virginia is also very clever at just, back tapping things out to the guards. And the other day against Miami, the team's leading rebounder, 5'10", Chance Fowler.
They should post him up. They should call him a power forward. Virginia is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, and Duke is one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country. I was surprised. Duke was way plus against Michigan on the glass. Really, offensive rebounding was a big factor for them. And other than one possession, I think, where Michigan got 3 cracks at it with back-to-back offensive rebounds, they really didn't do much on the offensive glass against Duke. So that's what I saw in D.C., and it was a high-level – it wasn't the most beautiful basketball game I've ever seen, but it was a high-level competitive game, which I anticipate we will see on Saturday. All right, I want you to enjoy not only tonight, but your trip here on the weekend. And if I happen to run into you over where there's a big sheet of ice, I look forward to it.
That would be great, man. Team Teel will be at Lenovo Center Saturday night.
All right. Have fun. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great, Adam. Thank you.
You got it. David Teel joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. State, Virginia tonight. How do the Wolfpack handle Virginia's incredible size and, yes, keeping them off the offensive glass, which not a lot of teams are doing anyway. So there are a certain number of offensive rebounds you know you are going to give up. But in order for the Wolfpack to win, one of two things must happen. You have to either minimize the damage with those second chance opportunities, or you better be super efficient offensively. You're going to give up second chances. You've got to be able to make Virginia sweat. Cavaliers are really good. Look forward to that game tonight. All right, we'll take a break. I want to reset a couple of things, and we will come back. The hockey season restarts tomorrow. Next.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Practicing a championship way can happen 100% of every day, on the court and when traveling highways. A lot of sportsmanship includes taking the high road when going away and returning home. Buckle up your seatbelt in the front and back seats. Every seat, every time. Every time you click it, it counts as a winning ticket. Demonstrate your championship drive through your safety practice. A buckle seat is a winning bucket. This message was brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
You know the only feeling sweeter than opening a college acceptance letter? Knowing that you'll be able to pay for tuition however far you go. The first step? Completing the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA for short. Find out how much money for college you qualify for. Grants, scholarships, and other opportunities are waiting. How far can you go? Find out at cfnc.org/FAFSA 101.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Gold. Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because that, I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgers-y of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
Oh, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold, Victoria producing the program. We're going to rewind in just a few minutes. I did mention that the National Hockey League comes back tomorrow. Hurricanes do not play until Thursday at home to the Tampa Bay Lightning, but the NHL returns tomorrow, and there are 8 games. Buffalo kind of fell off at the very end of the pre-Olympic schedule. Remember, at one point, they were the hottest team in the entire NHL. Might still be if we take the last, say, 30 games into account. But the Sabres will be in New Jersey to take on the Devils. More than likely, they're probably playing for next season. They're playing for draft position. I'm not saying they're tanking. Flyers are in Washington to meet the Capitals. They're both in the mix, in the running for the final spot, the third spot in the Metropolitan Division. Toronto is in Tampa. Lightning are the best team in the East. They have a couple of players who have played in the Olympics, obviously, but they should be in relatively good shape. Is Jake Gensel playing tomorrow? You know, the U.S. team is in Washington right now. They're in D.C. And the understanding is, and I don't know, maybe that this hasn't been confirmed or anything, the understanding was that they would still be in D.C. tomorrow. So I don't know you can get back from D.C. to Tampa pretty quickly, so it's very possible that Jake Gensel will be in the lineup by 7:30 tomorrow night when the Lightning host the Maple Leafs. But again, Tampa will be here on Thursday. Dallas is jumping back in against Seattle without Mikko Rantanen. The Avalanche, who obviously will be, they'll be missing, I don't know if they'll be missing Brock Nelson, but Brock Nelson just won a gold medal. Nathan McKinnon didn't win a gold medal. Cale Makar didn't win a gold medal. But they are in Utah. Jets and Canucks are going to play. Those are 2 teams that are playing for draft position. Vegas is in Los Angeles, take on the Kings, who are going to play without Kevin Fiala. Jack Eichel won a gold medal for the Golden Knights. Edmonton and Anaheim. So we've got 8 games tomorrow, and then I believe 10 or maybe even 12 on Thursday. And Saturday is just a free-for-all. So we're back. And we just watched a game Sunday that enthralled America and North America, really. And now we're diving fully back into the season. It should be an absolute blast. All right, as we told you a few minutes ago, at the Scouting Combine today, Dave Canales made the announcement that he would not be calling plays this year. That will fall to Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator, with help from, I'll call him like borderline legendary offensive mind, Darrell Bevell.
Darrell comes in at a really special time. This year, going into the season, Brad Idzik will be calling plays for the Panthers. And this is something that all of us collectively have talked about as an organization. It was my idea to come up with this, and just kind of looking back and reflecting on it, thinking about how we've grown this offense and really wanting to be able to advance our football on the offensive side primarily by letting Brad, who's completely engulfed and entrenched in what we're doing offensively speaking, his continuity with the system, his continuity with our players, being able to do that, I believe, will be the best thing for us going forward.
Look, Daryl Bevell, talk about the influence of really just an assistant coach, and he's going to basically be another set of eyes for Brad Idzik and Dave Canales, help with the game plan. I mean, he was one of the offensive architects with Brett Favre and with Aaron Rodgers and for the heyday of Seattle. This is a really, really good addition to the coaching staff. And again, I told you before what I think it means big picture for Dave Canales. It means trust in those people around you, and that says a ton. What went behind the decision?
My commitment since I've gotten here has been what's best for the Panthers, putting our players in best position to be successful, coaches as well. When I look at this allows me to be in a better position to affect our team, and this also allows Brad to affect the offense in a positive way. He's my primary architect for what we do offensively with the run game, the pass game, and the connection of it. And I saw this as an opportunity to streamline the work that goes in during the week and then to have that come alive on game day for the play caller who has a vision for what we're doing. And while this is a shared vision and a shared philosophy for how we play football, stylistically speaking, we're not changing any of the words. We're not changing our approach, but I want all of our processes to improve, and I believe this is an opportunity to do that.
On whether or not he thinks Brad Idzik is ready for this.
He's as ready as you're going to get. Yeah, I look back to when I first started calling plays. Oh, Coach Bowles is gone now, but a couple of years ago, and Coach Bowles gave me the opportunity, asked me, what makes you think you're ready? I said, I'm just as ready as I'm going to get without having actually done it. And that's how I feel about Brad. I feel that his grasp of our system and our schemes, the mastery of it, those things, and his camaraderie with knowing who our players are, knowing Bryce, that's a big piece of this thing. Had a conversation with Bryce. Bryce is aware of what's happening and wanted to make sure that he was a part of this process to see the vision of what I hope will come.
All right, we're going to get into Daryl Bevell here in a second. He referred to Todd Bowles, the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Dave Canales became a play caller with Tampa. So now it does help. Bowles is a defensive coach. Canales is an offensive coach. There is a tendency to kind of, meddle's not the right word, but you kind of be a shadow play caller. I don't know how it's going to work. And there are now 3 offensive brains. We've been there. Remember the Frank Reich era? Remember how many, offensive chefs there were?
Too many cooks in the
kitchen. That did not work.
Nope.
That did not work at all. It was like they had one idea for first downs. Somebody else was dealing with. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. Now I mentioned Daryl Bevell, who again was with Green Bay in the Favre era, and Aaron Rodgers, Minnesota, Favre again. Seattle at the end, or rather during their heyday, when it was Russell Wilson and a great running game. This might be a perfect fit for the Panthers. Canales on how Bevell can help.
We're looking at all the things that Daryl brought from Miami and just putting it all on the table. Part of our all of us being here at the Combine together, just meeting during the day, is to see, we know we have our core. That will stay the same, but what are some of the things operationally? What are some of the wrinkles from a schematic standpoint that we might be able to add to bring value to what we're doing? And certainly looking at, an offense that I've really respected over the years, and a coaching family with Mike McDaniels, Kyle Shanahan, and the like, that I really respect, and to see how do they get to such good football, explosive plays, all those things. Wanted to make sure that we're continuing to bring things for our offense.
All right, it's Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. One more thing from Canales, who will now be free to, with not having play calling duties, to, be the, air quotes, head coach.
For myself, just thinking about the big picture of it and the cultural growth that we've seen happen over these 2 years, all across the board, really on every level of our building, from strength and conditioning to athletic training, the coaching staff development, player development. This is a great opportunity for me to be more involved. As each year has gone by, the first year, as you can imagine, just really throwing myself fully into the offensive side of it and having conversations with, the different parts of our team. The second year, starting to broaden my perspective more to be involved with special teams and defense, and now this step allows me to do that in a greater way from a cultural standpoint, and specifically, as we're in games, my ability to be able to interact with the officials on an offensive series, where in the past 2 seasons I got to go to the next play. There's another one coming, but Brad is someone I have full confidence in, a man that worked together with to really build what we're doing here.
Again, just to get back to the bigger picture for me, the fact that Canales is stepping away from probably the one thing he enjoys the most about, his time in the NFL, the ability, the privilege of calling plays, of being that guy. That shows a lot of maturity. Victoria, I have not been. I've not been huge about the head coach.
Same.
And it remains to be seen whether or not going forward that this all is going to work.
Yeah.
But I do think it says a ton about his development. So good for him, good for Bryce, good for the Panthers. By the way, Dan Morgan has had his day at the Combine as well. All right, shall we rewind? Last night, as I'm watching the Tar Heels and Louisville, Twitter was all a Twitter over the fact that Gunnar Rivers, son of Philip, committed to NC State. This is a huge, huge development, if you will, for Wolfpack football, for Gunnar Rivers. I mean, you're not going to find too many players in modern NC State football with the staying power of Phillip Rivers. The fact that his son, who is one of the top quarterback recruits in the 27 class, that he is willing to commit to NC State is awesome. Michael Clark of Pack Power joined us, and we started by talking about how close it was with the likes of an Auburn or Miami.
I mentioned back in December, and full disclosure, when they offered Gunnar back when he was a freshman, I just thought it was a huge long shot because of the current state we're in college football, and money is not a factor for him, obviously. But I always say it isn't till it is.
Right.
So that being said, December you really heard some rumblings. I think him coming to the UNC game, seeing that, kind of demolition of a rival, being with your dad, then you have one of your best friends, from what I've gathered, the running back commit, sign with NC State, and, it just kept going. You kept hearing more and more from people I trust, and, you've been doing this a long time. There are people that you trust and that have never steered you in the wrong direction. Does that mean that they're always right? No. But it really started to pick up some steam in January. I talked about it again and then mentioned it again last week. But I'm going to be completely honest. I think everybody, including the coaching staff, I don't think anybody was expecting it to happen yesterday. I do think NC State was sprinting. I think it's obviously a huge deal. This kid's a player. I mean, he's really, really talented. So it's a big day for NC State.
All right, now there are people out there, and I kind of drew an allusion, like an example of the Boozer twins going to Duke. It was a foregone conclusion in the mind of people who don't follow it that, why wouldn't they go to Duke? His dad was a star at Duke. They should go to Duke. But there were other serious players in, and also when you deal with these types of situations, you're not 100% sure how good are the players. So you say he's really talented. Give me an example. I mean, we remember what Phillip was as a freshman. I sort of joked, if he can be half as good as his dad, that would be awesome for NC State. What are the strengths of Gunner Rivers' game?
I think first it's just experience. I mean, this is a kid who's a 3-year varsity starter. Took his lumps. They went 6-5, and when he was a freshman, and he's just continued to get better and better. I mean, he's so far advanced when it comes to just his feel for the game. And if you watch him on tape, video, however you want to word it, I mean, the ability to throw with anticipation and touch. And a thing that gets lost in this quarterback evaluation, I think, often is the ability to process quickly. Yeah. You don't play at the level he's performed without being able to do that. That's so important. I mean, rarely are you going to go out on a Saturday or Sunday or whenever and throw a ball 65 yards in the air. That's not how football works. I think him being able to have the experience and then the sounding board, I mean, I don't know if you could ask for a better one. I mean, the coaching he's received from his dad, not only in high school, but just growing up and being around the game, there are no sure things in college football recruiting, definitely not at the quarterback position. But it would be hard for me. Am I saying he's going to be his dad? Absolutely not. It would be hard for me to not see him being really successful at NC State. I just think he's got all the tools. I mean, again, you can't teach certain things. Mm-hmm. You can't teach experience, and then his ability to obviously process decision making, the whole nine. Does he have the biggest arm? Yeah, probably not. But again, he is extremely gifted.
Michael Clark from Pack Power on NC State 2027 quarterback Gunner Rivers. That is absolutely awesome. Before we get out of here, I mentioned where the NHL season resumes tomorrow. Carolina, of course, does not play until Thursday. I have heard several. We had Jacob Slavin. We had like a minute-long conversation with Jacob Slavin. We didn't have it. Our old friend Casey Hintz down in South Florida now. She interviewed Jacob Slavin, and he mentioned the fact that the USA women won a gold medal. I saw the interview with Jack and Quinn Hughes on Good Morning America today, and they emphasized the fact that they have a close relationship with the women. I'm bringing this up for this reason, and we only have a minute here. The phone call that the president made to the team after winning the gold medal, there was backlash for what I think could be even, easily considered some disrespect towards the women's accomplishment that the players did not push back on. You can see what's happening here. The players are emphasizing their relationship with the women because of the way that is being framed. I'm not slamming the players here. Got caught in a tough moment. But they do respect the women.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's definitely chilly outside, but I know a good way to warm up. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here for Blue Shark Vodka, and maybe you're trying to think of a tasty cocktail to make for an upcoming party or just having some friends over to chillax a little bit. Blue Shark Vodka is here to help with the smoothest and cleanest vodka, which is also locally made. It's just an extra bonus that it comes in a collector's bottle that's sure to stir up some conversations. So try their Shark on a Beach, Shark Cider, or one of my personal favorites, the Carolina Mule. So go check them out at your local ABC store or visit their website for recipes and details at BlueSharkVodka.com.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
There's an overlap in the middle of a professional athlete's career where their